Because it is stupid that I come to the currency exchange and you look for omens. I don't know this. How much is this? Look at that. 370 exalteds for one of these motherfuckers. They need to make the unique map more common, dude. Like the map to the Calandra shit, the map to the Esomite Gauntlet boss, all that shit that needs to be more common. There is so much shit in the game, and to me it is stupid. You put a lot of work into so much stuff in the game, and then the rarity is so bad that it's the same as it doesn't exist because people don't interact with the system because it is rare as fuck. Why put it in the game then? Why make it so rare? I understand that rare stuff is cool, and it is okay that it is a little bit rare, but there comes a point where it is too much, dude. I've been playing this game a fucking lot, and I have never seen one of those vaults where you enter and there is just like vaults that you open and there are items in there, but it is not an actual map. I haven't seen that shit ever. In fact, I didn't knew it existed if Dark Micro didn't show it in a fucking video. So at that point, why? Why develop something that less than 1% of the players are going to interact with? It is so stupid. And even if you interact with it, sometimes it is like one time out of 200 hours of gameplay. It is the same as not existing. It is so fucking stupid. Dude, over 60% of you are not subscribed. Why? Why are you like this? Just click the sub button, dude. It is quick, it is easy, it is free. You get content, I get a sub win-win situation. Just click the sub button, my dude. The same goes to the omens, that they are so rare that they might not exist for crafting. Like, it does the omens that are needed to actually craft, it is still gambling, but you have a little bit more agency, are so rare that they don't exist. At that point, why even have it? Why have it? It doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. I know there are some brain-dead idiots that say, no, rarity makes it cool because when you actually find it, it is a good moment, dopamine or whatever. Fuck you. It is true that some rarity is cool, but when you get to this point, it is absurd, right? It is like what happened. I know it is not that absurd in hitting PoE 2, but I am using it as an example so you understand what is happening. When Diablo 4 launched, Uber Uniques in Diablo 4 were so rare that it was basically impossible to find one. Like after a month or 2 months of gaming in the whole world, with the amount of players Diablo 4 had, which was a lot, like 2 people found an Uber Unique. It was stupid, right? It was too rare. At that point, it doesn't exist. And an Uber Unique is something stupid. I don't care about an Uber Unique. But there are a lot of mechanics in PoE 2 that are like that. The omens, the unique maps, those bolts that I am telling you that I have never seen one. And there are some things that are not that rare, but are so necessary to gameplay that should be more common. Like fucking citadels. I know that if you farm every day, you might find one citadel every day. But they are still too rare to the common man that only can play 1 or 2 hours a day. And there are people that can't even play that much. So how the fuck are you supposed to interact with these systems, dude? What do I do? Because I can't find that many citadels because I have shit to do. I trade for them. So the whole fucking game is based around trading. If you couldn't trade for the fucking fragments that citadels give, then you couldn't go to the fucking Arbiter of Ash. You have to fix this shit. I am not saying before a pussy bitch says it. I am not saying that everything has to be easy and given to me freely. I am just saying that it is too much of a pain in the ass. If you make it a little bit more common, you are not breaking the game. You are just making this content available to the player base. Lord, just crashing out. Because I am pissed off because this is something that happens a lot in games, not only in Path of Exile. There comes a point I want pinnacle content. I want content that is harder to get to access to. But this content should still be accessible for you to try it out. Not necessarily beat it in case of some pinnacle hard content, but access it. Be able to experiment it, to playing it, dude. Why the fuck do you have these unique maps if you are not interacting with them? Why the fuck do you have these crafting materials if you don't interact with them? That is wasted time, wasted development time. You should have put that into something that the player base is actually going to use. Like getting more loot drops! And deleting the rarity stat from the gear. They are rare, but they are pretty rare. I don't even understand why they are rare. I don't understand why omens need to be that rare. They should be a dime a dozen. Even the most important omen, dude. There are people that say, no, they can make omens free, easy to get because then everybody's going to craft cool items and they are going to trivialize the game. Let them do it! What the fuck is the problem, dude? Let them do it. What is the problem with crafting good items? Let them do it. And if you don't want them to do it, then don't balance the whole fucking game around trading. Do you see how one problem links to the other? You don't want omens to be too easy to get because then people are going to craft perfect items and sell them in the fucking trade market. Right? Then why the fuck do you balance the game around trading? Make it so I can play the game by myself without having to trade, and then this wouldn't be a fucking problem. I don't care about divines. They could be 10 times rated and it wouldn't bother me, but I need more crafting currency early. Yes, that is what I'm talking about. The omens, brother. The omens should be... There should be more options beside omens, but at least what we have now. Like, I am not telling you, create a new currency, create a new form of crafting. I am telling you, the same shit you already have in the game, just make it so that we can access it. Because it is stupid that I come to the currency exchange and you look for omens, like I don't know how much is this shit. Look at that. 370 exalteds for one of these motherfuckers. And this isn't like it is going to give me what? Your next Chaos Sword will remove only prefix modifiers. It is not that big of a deal, dude. It is still RNG. And when you slam the item again, it is going to be RNG again. And if you don't get the item that you want, you have to use one of these against. And that is crafting. Still a gamba machine, a gamba slot bullshit, but still accessible. Who the fuck is going to pay this for this item if I can go and buy the item already done by the same amount or even less? A full item that is a good fucking item is cheaper than this bullshit. Because it is too fucking rare. Yeah, the loot problem is pretty bad, not to mention a lot of content like Wisp, don't reward your jack shit. Yep. The loot problem, we have talked a lot about the loot problem. Loot problem sucks dick. But in here I am talking, of course, crafting. I know that a lot of people want to talk about crafting, and I am addressing with crafting. But I am also trying to address it in the sense with everything in the game. There are so many things that are so fucking rare that at that point, they don't exist. Have you seen one of these shits? There are people that corrupt every single essence they get and they haven't seen this shit once. Why does it need to be so rare, dude? Have you seen one of these motherfuckers? Because I haven't. This doesn't exist. You don't interact with this system, the reliquary key, because it doesn't exist. So why even make it? Why bring it to the game if you don't interact with the system? And that is what I am talking about, dude. And again, before a pussy bitch says something, I am going to repeat it. I am not saying hand everything for free. I am not saying make the game easy. I am not saying things shouldn't be a challenge or you shouldn't have to grind for them. I am saying it, make it possible to engage with these systems. Because at this point, they don't exist. Or are too rare that you engage with them once in a 3-month, 4-month season. Brother, we have lives to live, dude. We can't be playing 12 and 14 hours a day with the hopes of interacting with one of these fucking systems. It is fucked up. It is stupid. And you know what? I don't know. I didn't play PoE 1 for 12 and 10 fucking years. But this is a problem that I don't think they will fix. And I am not talking about making omens more accessible, because maybe they make omens more accessible. But I think they think it's cool to have things so rare that you don't interact with them but once in a while. I think that problem will never go away. And that pisses me off, in a way. Because why the fuck make content that I am not going to play? Stupid as fuck. PoE 1 has same issue. I found 100 heist max for some stupid boots, never got them. Exactly. That is why I say this is not going away. Let's say that they make some things better, right? Let's say they make the Lake of Calandra, for example, the map where you get the fracture, the rings and the amulets that have extra prefixes or suffixes. Let's say they make that more common, or they make omens more common. There is always going to be something that is fucking rare that nobody is engaging with. It is stupid. I care more about the journey than the destination, so if my guy dies before the endgame bosses, I still had fun. But I know it pisses some people off. Dude, but you are saying exactly what I'm trying to say. Like, your argument supports my thing, Russell. You know why? Because I am not talking about rewards. I am talking about engaging with the content. So if you're playing hardcore and your character dies before engaging with some part of the content, like let's say one of the coolest maps that and I don't know if I am going to see, but I cleared it. It was a unique map. They created a new map for this season that is a unique map where you fight a gauntlet of 10 bosses in a row. And the last fight is you fight 2 bosses at the same time. It is incredible, dude. This shit. I think it is this one. It is the megalith, right? It is fucking cool, dude. Well, I can get this one. It is incredible. But this is the second one that I am going to find, and I've been playing a fucking lot. That is what I'm trying to say. They created a fucking cool encounter, and you don't engage with it that much. So if you're playing hardcore and you die before playing it, it sucks. And it is not even because of the reward. It is just trying the content out, playing it because it's cool. So your argument supports my thing. I am not talking even, no, you should give me this and that so I am powerful. Brother, you created a cool encounter and people are not playing it. And they get surprised when they see it because they didn't know it existed, because nobody sees this shit. That is what I'm talking about. And when I say nobody, I am meaning the majority of the people. I know that players find it. I found it. I hate it that when I generalize, like nobody says it, people say, oh, I saw it. Yeah, motherfucker, I know that some of you do it. But we are like talking about the statistical majority of the game, of the people that play the game. I have a real supremacist thoughts on this topic, but in my opinion, endgame aspirational content can only be entered by the best of the best. And I agree with you. That is why we have several... I am not saying entering. I am saying it, beating it. It is different. In my opinion, everybody should enter it. Not everybody should beat it. It is very different. For example, in WoW, everybody can enter the mythic raid. Everybody can enter the hardest fucking mythic raid. Not everybody can beat it. That is where you are tested. Playing the fucking game, not by some artificial barrier that you are putting in there. So, for example, I think that Arbiter 4 should be even harder than what it is right now. That it should be really fucking hard to beat him. But that getting the 3 fragments from the Citadel should be easier. So, you can try it. You can go and try it. Remember, you only have one try, and the boss is going to be hard. That is where you implement the problem, not in the accessing the content, because people want to play the fucking game, dude. People want to try the content. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I a clown? Am I a genius? Let me know everything in the comments below. I love reading comments even when they don't agree with me. Also remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. God bless you. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.